We are live. We're getting into this. Welcome to the Social Living Podcast. I am Julian Green, social media expert, and my co-host Jamel Lawrence, also a social media expert. How you doing, Jam?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a busy few weeks, and obviously Black Friday next week. So yeah, on my side, it's been a busy month. So yeah, I'm looking forward to when Black Friday's over, we can kind of chill a bit more. But yeah, going into peak period now, which is yeah,
I
all
hear
fun
you,
and
man.
games on social. It's all fun and games. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm all right though. I'm good. I'm good. How are
yeah.
you?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man, and glad you touched on Black Friday because only one of my clients actually needs something done for Black Friday, and it's kind of been like a really quick turnaround. To be fair, I probably should have like preempted it and kind of
Mm.
suggested something last week, but yeah, I'm just not gonna sleep tonight because it has to go live tomorrow morning, so
Are
it's
you
gonna
doing
be
it
one of
early?
those. Yeah,
Early
it's
Black
gonna be.
Friday. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we just kind of come up with a little idea that we can kind of push out through to the rest of the month. This is another opportunity, I guess, for small businesses to even test out new products with in conjunction with Black Friday. It's not just going to be a Black Friday thing. You know what? That's one thing I kind of like about the UK. It's not just the Friday, if you get what I mean. Like it might
Mm.
be in the US, it's like we kind of act in an orderly fashion. This is no disrespect to anyone from the US, but we try and act in like an orderly fashion. We don't want everybody rushing in trying to take TVs and stuff. It's like, you know what, let's put this out maybe 10 days before um the actual day so people have time to
Mm.
come in and they'll hold prices as well and things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
There's no
that's the
mad
kind of.
rush.
Yeah, exactly. There's no mad rush. There's still a sense of urgency because you still want to get a good deal and stuff, but
Mm.
it's not manic if you get what I mean. But
Mm.
yeah, man, I'm quite happy that it's just one client at the moment, so that needs that. So otherwise, I would probably be all over the place. But yeah, man. But other than that, yeah, man, I'm good. Again, probably just like you, like been a very busy week for myself. I got
Mm.
so much going on just personally, weddings, christenings, uh best man duties. Um so yeah, man, there's a lot going on. So it's just been very busy. Trying to find the work-life balance as well was quite hard.
Mhm.
But it is, man. It is what it is, man. We move.
Find a way.
But
Find a way.
trust me, man. We do find a way, man. Episode 16. What was your first social media platform? You know what? Before we get into it, I'm gonna shout out another podcast episode, or another podcast or episode that I watched recently on Kanye West on Drink Champs. Big up like
Okay.
Nori and his show. But have you seen it?
No, I've not seen anything about that. I didn't realize because normally Kanye doesn't do like podcast interviews. So I thought,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm surprised I've not seen that floating about somewhere.
Man, if you watch that episode and you don't feel inspired, nothing will ever inspire you. I'm just gonna put it like that. Like,
Is it a gem?
you know how there are gems, there are just, you know what it is? It's truths. There's certain
Mm,
truths that he puts out there that I feel like nobody can compete with. I
mm.
don't know. A couple of weeks ago we spoke about Dave Chappelle. They're trying to cancel him, but he's like, no, I'm not I'm not cancelable, if that's a word.
Yeah, you
Or
can't cancel me.
you can't cancel me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
um, I, I kind of respect Dave Chappelle. Do you know what I mean? He stands on his own and he says what he wants and he lives in his truth. Do you see what I'm saying?
mhm.
And Kanye is another one that kind of lives on that frequency. And
His own, yeah, it's his
it's
own frequency. No matter what he's perceived as, he'll still be in Kanye. He won't change that.
exactly, exactly. So, if you are a fan of Kanye, even if you're not a fan of Kanye, I think definitely go out and check that interview out, man. It's one for the culture for sure.
mm,
There's so many gems in there, and you know that type of frequency is what I would love to be able to move on. And you know what? You can tell that other people, celebrities, actors, rappers, basketball players, athletes, whatever, they want to be on this frequency, and you know they want to be. And it's like almost
mm,
it's freedom. It's a freedom frequency, if you get what I mean. They're not under nobody's gun. You know,
mm,
Kanye West don't hesitate to shout out anybody's name that's disrespecting him. Do you
mm,
know what I mean? Cancel me. Cancel me for what? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm
mm,
Kanye West. You can't cancel me.
mm.
And that's a frequency that he's putting out there. Do you know what I mean? And I just wanted to big it out, man. I watched it like a couple hours ago, and I just thought, yeah, I gotta mention this on the podcast because that was a big boy
Episode.
episode, man. Yeah, man,
Mm,
big boy episode. And so shout out to Drink Champs, and I haven't been listening to them much recently, but when they first started out, they had some really good interviews. And this is probably going to be their biggest one, to be honest.
mm,
Yeah, man, he's saying a lot of gems. You know how it is with Kanye, yeah. You know, like how he has his moments on like Breakfast Club, but
mm.
like it takes time for people to take it in. It literally is like he's talking
In
3 years
riddles.
ahead. What? No,
Mm,
I'll say like three, like he's talking like years ahead. So people not getting him at that
mm,
moment in time. Do you know what I mean? But he's there. He's like, he knows you're not gonna understand me because I'm talking about 2024 and you're not
mm.
here yet. Do you know what I'm saying? And
I feel like as well with Kanye, he's so memeable. Like everything he does can be turned into a meme. Like people not he don't they don't look at him as a joke, but they expect something wild to come out of his interviews. So
yeah,
so the context of what he's saying kind of gets bypassed, and they just
yeah,
see him
yeah,
as this memeable figure. But if you kind of dive
yeah,
in and listen to what he's saying, there's like you said, there's gems there. So I'm definitely gonna
100%.
have a listen to that.
Yeah, and even Dave Chappelle could be like a similar character. And the way even Dave Chappelle, the way he like he's a comedian, but he puts across his message in the most amazing way. And like he might have funny moments, but there's a core message that's there. I think it's the
Yeah.
same with Kanye, but with Kanye, they obviously they just take the viral moments, the little
Mm,
outbursts or whatever. But really and truly, he's saying something that you really should take in. You know, there's a lot of things that is affecting our culture. There's a lot of frequencies that are out there that people are not aware of, and it could be affecting just the way you think.
mm,
And he's trying to ignore all of that. You know what I mean? Like he touches on like his relationship with Kim Kardashian, his wife, his family. He talks about being black and racism that he experiences now as a billionaire. Um,
mm.
so you know, it's a gem. So yeah, man, we'll leave it as that, man. But yeah, man, big shout out to Drink Champs again. Nori, love Nori and love DJ FN. So yeah, man, check that one out, man. Check that one out. I'm ready.
Mm.
Let's dive into this. Let's dive into this topic, man. Social media, um, as always, is what we like to talk about. But yeah, man, we're gonna take it back, man. This is a throwback episode. This is a
The
proper throwback
origins.
episode. Trust me, the origins. And you know what? Where we probably entered into the social media world, right? Isn't even the origins. That's just the origins for us. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm.
And like, there was definitely other platforms out there before, before what I used first. Do you know what I mean? Before what you used
Yeah, yeah,
first.
yeah.
Do you know what I
Even me,
mean?
yeah, because we touch on it, but yeah, my first introduction to social media was Bebo or MSN, I think. So yeah, and I know there's
Bebo,
another 10 yeah, there's another 10 years before that. So
trust
yeah,
me.
we'll dive into it, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, man. Like me too, man. My first experience was 100%. I'll probably say MSN. Yeah, I think MSN is the one I took seriously, if you get what I mean. I
Mm.
actually used it. Like I'll come home and I'll bang it out. Like I'll be on there,
Bang out
get a different
MSN.
ads, bang out
Mm.
da-da-da, da-da-da. Like I used to get all the like the nudges, like the knock
The
it, like the
nudges,
nudges on the
yeah.
door. Man, I used to bang that out, man. And then on top of that, I used to, you know what it is, yeah? Like that. And the worst thing is that one wasn't even like you didn't share like photos or
Your
anything like that.
life.
You didn't
Yeah,
share,
yeah,
yeah, you didn't share your
yeah,
life. It's literally just chat rubbish. I can't even lie to you. It was like
yeah.
it's like a Twitter room. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm.
you say what you say. You're just in a group chat with bare people. You're just chatting
Yeah, it's like
away. Then you
WhatsApp
might.
almost. Yeah, just WhatsApp, but chatting pure crud. Like there's no substance. There's no substance going on MSN.
Yeah, man. There was like not like in MSNs, you just wanted to talk to people that you might not even know. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And that was it. But it just stayed there. Like in most cases, I'll say I'm not gonna talk for everybody, but for me, I would talk to people on MSN. But I knew they were my age. Do you know what I mean? Like they
Mm.
knew someone that I knew. It was never
Mm.
like, oh, I'm talking to this person who I think is 15 and it's like some 30-year-old man or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
there might have been cases where that might have been the case, but 9 times out of 10, you just knew this person knew someone else, you know what I mean, that you knew.
Mm.
Whether it's like from
Mm.
another school down the way, your neighbor, or whatever it might be. You used to be able to put up your own statuses as well. And I used to
Yeah, I
always
remember
fake
that.
it.
Yeah.
I used to fake my statuses like you could put like there was like this add-on feature where you could it will show you what you're listening to. And I used to pretend that I was putting banging out the maddest slow jams, bro. I had no music on my computer. You know what I
Usher on
mean?
constantly. Yeah, just banging that Usher album, man. Confessions
Trust me,
there.
trust
Mm.
me. Confessions. Then I'm like trying to like prove that I know proper slow jams as well. So I'm trying to go like way
Mm.
back, like to Usher's like nice and slow and all these next
Mm.
like songs that are just like kind of too early for me in a
Yeah,
sense, if you know what I mean.
I was like that as well. But with me, it was like Bashment. Why, why,
Okay.
why at 11 did I have Beres Hammond in my MSN bio?
I
What?
swear.
How is that a thing? That should
That's
not be a
bad
thing, but I
still.
was there trying it. Trying to say everything I was Jamaican without saying I'm Jamaican.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's what you're
Mm,
doing, in it. It's like that was probably the first instance of like where you're trying to show everyone this like you're trying to give everyone what's it like showing them your best life in a certain extent. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But
like
it was almost
an
hard.
insight into. Mm,
Yeah, to say like an insight into who you are, but your best
mm,
version of who you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no filters or anything like that. I remember we used to have like what do you remember like your first display picture?
wait, I reckon is the pose where you have like you do like gun fingers on your chin. Like the historic pose,
Yeah.
there must have been something like that, bare pixelated. Just yeah, I might have had a cap on as well. Yeah, just one of those. One of
Trust
those.
me. I had the I remember like I just my first social media picture that I uploaded was on it was on Bebo. I don't really on MSN. I feel like like I used to just get like random wallpapers and stuff like that. I just throw them up. I didn't really like posting
Mm,
pictures of myself. I never really like having taken pictures back then. But my first
mm.
picture was on Bebo. Again, I'm just gonna shout out Bebo, man. Like I don't know what happened to them, but I was fully engaged on Bebo.
They had
And
us
these
all, man.
times,
They had our
yeah, gone.
generation on lock. They had our generation on lock. They could have done mad things with us. They could like that. We should have stuck with Bebo throughout our lives. And I don't know where they like let go of the ball or what happened because, like you said, they shout out to them because they had us all hooked on social media
Yeah.
before Facebook and Instagram and Twitter came along.
See, but you know what it is? It was the what happened to Bieber was Facebook, innit? Like that's what happened
Mm,
to Bieber. Because like there was a time when I was on Bieber. I had just moved to Gloucester as well at the time for college. When I was about 16. And
mm,
I banged out Bieber for about I think it was like a solid 6 months. So these times I was leaving school. So Bebo was a good way for me to keep in contact with people that I went to school with and then connecting with people at, that were in Gloucester as well. And it got
mm,
so mad, yeah. Like this is where I knew social media wasn't for me because I got addicted to Bebo. Like I was on it all the time. I was on it all the time. I was like talking to people all the time. There was these things that you could like drop a love. So you get like a heart every single day, and you
Mm.
could give the heart to one person, one
One
other user
person.
every single day. Yeah,
It's that
but it had a
social
count.
currency, man.
That social currency you already know, and you could only give
Mm.
that heart to one other person, but it kept count. So if someone had a low heart count, it was like, nah, bro, you're not really popping, you're not
Yeah.
really
No
popular. Do you
ratings.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Low
Yeah.
ratings. You know what I mean? And at the time, you're like talking to different, girls, and they're giving you a love or whatever. And then if
Mm.
you like you were looking, I remember at the time I was looking for people like that was in Gloucester just so I can socialize with more people that was in Gloucester to get to know more people outside of my college, just outside in, Gloucester. And
Mm.
oh my God, the amount of people I found in Gloucester. And then it was so mad because Gloucester's a small place. You
Mm.
just I'll be on Bebo next week, I see people in town. I was like, raw. And then next thing you might see someone in town, and then you could just pop up on the Bebo like, yo, he said da 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 da. And then
Mm.
it was a way of like that was like first DMs. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. So, yeah.
sliding
Sliding
into
in.
the DMs,
Mm.
sliding into the DMs and chatting. It's like, yeah, yeah, man's going Gloucester Fair. Yeah, yeah, Friday. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bow. Next minute, I'm there with the man, there with the girls, and it's like, whoa, do you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And
Mm.
but I was so it became really bad because um like there'll be certain people like I'll be like, yo, that's so and so, and I'll say the Bebo name. Oh my god,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah. The
so
hundred.
and so, and I was like, yo, when I did that, it probably took about
Mm.
24 hours before I realized. I was like, yo, this ain't right. This don't feel right. Close
Mm.
down
What's
Bebo.
mad
That
though?
was
Mm. I was
close
just
down
gonna say,
Bebo,
what's
bro.
mad is that that is like the life we're living now, and I feel like we're all quick to say about today's generation and how immersed
Hmm.
they are on Instagram and social media and how addicted they are on screen times and stuff like that. But that was us when we were their age, but just with a different app or a different platform. I feel like we
Yeah,
forget,
100.
we definitely forget what we were like at that age, and we
Mm,
just judged way
mm.
too quickly. But I was the same, like all over Bebo every night. It was I used to alternate between Bebo and I think it might have been COD at the time. So when in my
Oh
COD
yeah, yeah,
breaks in
yeah,
the
yeah.
lobbies, check out Bebo, do what I had to do, then go back into another game of CODs. Then I go into another lobby on Bebo. It's just that. And that was me every night, honestly, for about a year, which is mad. Wasted my life
Wow.
away, but that was it. That was part of it.
Yeah, man. But it's you know what? That's part of being a teenager as well.
Mm,
Like when we see it now, we might judge the kids today, but like at the time might have been just your everything, and it's part of like a learning curve, because even now
definitely, definitely.
our parents are probably on it more than we are. Yeah, I mean, because they were never
100%. Yeah,
exposed
all
to it
over
as a kid.
Facebook, man. Mm,
Facebook.
that's their way of
If you
connecting.
are over 50, if you're over 50, you are on Facebook. And you're
Yeah,
there trying to look for your primary school teacher as well. Like, let's not get
yeah,
it twisted.
yeah.
Like, you're there. But yeah, no, man. Big Bebo, I thought that was it was good. And you know what? I still think there's an element of what is on Bebo that could still be used. Just that currency of the sharing of the love. I think that
Mm.
was I think that was big. You
Strong.
know what I
That's such a
mean?
strong feature to have. Yeah,
It was. It
such a strong
was.
feature. And
I was.
you
I
almost
was
had
gonna say.
influencers back then from
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Like
Do you know those
the people
people?
with the
Big on.
God, that God.
I was gonna say, yeah. There was people that were just so popular on Bebo. Like they'll be like, obviously I was from London, so at the time when I first joined, there'll be people that like there'll be certain girls that just knew everyone from every area. Oh yeah, that's my guy
Mm,
from South London, East London, West London, North
mm,
London. You're just like, whoa, where are you from? They're not even from London, and you're just like, they
mm.
know everyone. They've got like 1,500 loves. You're like, that's like that's
Madness.
like you're like you've probably only been on it for like 2 months, bro. That's like
Mm,
just that's how many people give you loves a day. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, madness.
and it could have just been like a lighty. I don't want to single out lighties, but like
No, I
At the
call it. I don't
time,
know. I
that
call
was
it in my head. I've got the picture in my head. Chanel. She's from Dartford. Light skin. Like I've got. I pictured it in my head.
trust me.
You already know.
And that that was the London experience. Obviously, if any of our listeners grew up on Bebo, I would be interested to know what it was like in America if it was any different. But yeah, man, I was proper onto that. And then there was like different plugins that you could have on your page. So
Mm.
at the time, N Dubs was big, so big shout
I
out to
was about to
Dappy.
say that. That was my
But
wallpaper. Yeah. Papa, can you hear me? Was on there. As soon as they come onto my
oh
page,
my
the
God,
first video playing.
Papa, can you hear me? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
trust me.
That one there. I remember, you know what? It used to annoy me when it first came out, that feature. So basically, what would happen is someone will go onto your Bebo page and music would instantly start playing. So it was bare annoying. So like let's say you were just on a Bebo on just a, I don't want to say spying thing, but you're just out here just detective work, just going through pages and pages and pages.
Mm.
And then suddenly you go on the next page and the music's bare loud. Your mom's telling you, what's that noise or whatever? Do you know what I mean? It's like
Mm.
that used to be bare noise. It could have been swearing, it could have been whatever it might have been. And it was just bare annoying sometimes. But I still feel like it was a good feature. And um I think like if Bieber was on our phones, man, it would have been basically what it's like a cross between like Instagram and Twitter to a certain
Mm.
extent. You know what I mean? Like you had
Mm.
your wall that you were going on, and yeah, man. We got a question here, man. Let's see what's this person saying. Zeke Trey.
Yeah, man. I remember Bebo. I remember Bebo, Tag, MySpace. Um, I remember MSN. Um, I remember that. That was just like a little chat. Like it wasn't really no, you know what I'm saying? But now I think Bebo and Tag are dating apps now, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, man, I remember all that stuff, man. I'm in my 30s, man. I remember when all this stuff started. This, the whole social media wave, man. So yeah, man, it's crazy.
Big shout out to you, Zeke Trey, man. Love for that. Um, yeah, man. Bebo, MSN. I didn't know what tag is, to be fair. That might be a little bit before my time. I'm not sure about you, Jam. You
Mm.
ever heard of tag?
No, I've not heard. I've not heard of Tag. I'm not gonna lie. I've
Yeah,
not
I've
heard
never
of
heard
it.
of tag still.
It might be a
But
US
MSN was a
thing.
big
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it might be still, it might be. But Bebo, that came overseas and yeah, big man. And for me, that Bebo NFT needs to drop because I will purchase and hold on to that because that nostalgia there, that holds
Mm.
values. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, big shout out to Bebo. And then after Bebo, I kind of just jumped onto Facebook to be honest.
Definitely. Yeah.
Um,
Facebook was the way for a good period of time. A good period of
mm,
time.
it
And
was,
yeah, it's
man. And
different to where it is now.
yeah, very different. And you know what, as well, like that 2 year period of like Bebo and transitioning into Facebook. So for me, that transition was like from 16 to like let's say 17, 18. So it quickly came from Bebo being for like younger kids, and then oh you're an adult now, you need to be on Facebook. Do you know what
Mm.
I mean?
Mm.
And then I that's when I jumped onto Facebook. So if you're fortunate enough to find my Facebook, you see all the old pictures. Like I'm like, bruh. I was looking at it and it's like some of the pictures I got, like man, I had cane rows, or cornrows as you might say, in the US. Um, I remember I had blisters because I tied my do-rag too tight and it rubbed. And I got like I got stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
All on Facebook. But what I loved about Facebook was just connecting with everyone. Like you just this girl that lived, in my block at college, on the third floor. Friend request, bow, accept. Wow.
Mm.
It's just like, oh great,
Mm.
this is great. Do you know what I mean? And then I think I didn't really use it too tough then, but what changed it for me was when they introduced games. Oh my God. Right? When they introduced Tetris onto Facebook, I don't even know if they do it now, but they had that time where it was like, you know, like Farmville, in, you know, like
Farmville. Yes,
you know,
Farmville.
they were
Mm,
introducing Farmville like there was no tomorrow. Farmville request everyone trying to get extra lives and all this other stuff. But for me, it was the Tetris thing. So me, my friends, we used to jump on Tetris, and it had everyone's highest score in it. So you tried to beat the high score. Well, there was times
mm.
I was going to sleep. All I could see was Tetris bricks falling down. Like that
Man,
was
see that
it. Like
addiction
I
there?
was.
It's madness.
It was just yeah, and obviously for other people it might have been a different game like Farmville and whatever. I never played it, but
And there's Clash
ah,
of Clans as well. Like I remember there was a few.
trust,
There was a few. Yeah.
trust. You say we should. Oh, let's open up this message again and see what Zeke Trey's got to say.
Yeah, tag was another. It was like Bebo. You know, it was like Bebo and MySpace and stuff. You know, it was just, you know, it was just a little different setup, but it was all pretty much the same thing. You know. But yeah, I had all that stuff, man. You know, it was pretty much the same thing though. As Bebo and MySpace.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Jules, did you
Shout out
jump
to
on?
Tag.
Did you
Uh,
jump on MySpace?
you know what? MySpace was a little bit before me, you know, because
Okay.
it was there. It was there, and it was prominent because at the time, obviously, grime in the UK, big. You know, Skepta,
Mm,
JME, you know, D Double. This was big in it, and they had MySpace. It was like, check out my MySpace, check out my MySpace, and this is obviously, it was kind of pre YouTube. So if you wanted to get their
mm.
music, that's where you would kind of go. Do you know what I mean? And listen to
Okay.
it
Okay.
on MySpace. But I didn't really get it like that. Do you know what I mean? The music I would get at the time would be more through my phone and through sending things through Bluetooth and infrared. If and that's
Mm.
taking it back, that's pre-Bluetooth. So you used to like send songs holding the phones together to make sure that the songs get through. And then, you know, there'll be certain people in my school who was like, yeah, I'm rapping now, man. I do rapping, or I'm an MC. And then they would have their own songs, and then we would like share, get that shared. You got a cousin from another area, yeah, man, listen to my boy, yeah, he's sick, da, 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 da. And these
Mm.
times, I remember like people like Chipmunk. You get Chipmunk on your phone, and he's spitting from like Tottenham, which is all North London, and I'm in like Peckham or Brixton, and you know we're getting because I had a cousin from North. He would be like, "Yeah, man, you need to listen to these guys," like, and it'd be like Chipmunk and Double S. Double
Mm.
S was to me, Double S was so sick, and he was good. Like when I was growing up, like 17, 18. He's still doing his thing now, but he
I do see.
it
Yeah, I
was
see
like
him pop up. I still see him pop up a bit.
yeah, he pops up, but he should have been onto bigger and better things, man. I thought that he would blow up like how Chipmunk blew up, isn't it? But
Mm.
yeah, but like back then, that's how we was getting the music, and back then that like all the older crew like Wiley, all them man, they had you know MySpace, and they were jumping onto that. But the only thing when I think MySpace is that guy, you know, that guy who started the guy who started MySpace. He was like friends with everyone on MySpace, and he had that picture.
See,
I can't remember
yeah, I
his
wasn't
name.
on it. I wasn't, yeah, I didn't even have an account. So yeah, if it was before your time, it's definitely before my time. So yeah, I don't know. I
Mm.
only know of MySpace when I see the likes of Chucky reference it, in terms of like the grime scene. But yeah, apart from that, I'd have no like, no link to it.
Mm. Yeah, I used to jump in it sometimes, and people used to have videos and pictures on there, and it was mainly for like artists to kind of push their content and stuff. And the
Mm.
guy who started it, I think his name was Tom. If you were on MySpace, you know Tom. He was friends with everybody on MySpace, and you just remember their account. You're like, who's this random guy? But he was. It's like he default became everyone's friend on
Mm.
on MySpace, which was mad. Um, yeah, man. I wish if there was a video, I could just show the picture, and you'd be like, "Yeah, I've seen this. This is a running meme. Like you put it up now, everybody knows who Tom is." So yeah, man, big
Mm.
up Tom from MySpace. I don't know if he was like the founder or something like that, but um, I just remember him. He was just on everybody's MySpace. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's my memory from MySpace. But obviously, we'll get into it, man, because there was loads of other, you know, social media platforms even before, you know, before MySpace, that people used to connect to, and it's interesting now as well because the way gaming has gone to as well, it's almost that can be considered a social media as well, isn't it? Because
Mm.
like if you look at your earliest memories being on COD, you got the headset. Do you remember that one little earpiece, the Bluetooth?
The
So you
little,
could
yeah, the little camo one. Mm.
yeah, the
I
camo
had the
one. Do
little
you
camo one,
remember
yeah.
that? Oh
Just clip on
man,
my
and you
ear.
used to yeah, man, you used to click that on, and then you'll be playing Call of Duty. It's like, come on, zombies. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
and them times there,
That's
like.
my childhood there, man. The amount of times, the amount of hours I spent on CODs and FIFA back in the day. Wow.
Yeah,
But like you said, that was our that almost like social media. That's our way of connecting with different people all around the world,
100%.
really. And then you had
Yeah,
that like you had your own clans and your own groups and
yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah.
it was a movement, man. It was a movement back then.
You could argue that was the first taste of the metaverse. Do you know what I mean? Like
Almost, yeah, almost.
virtually,
We were
virtually
all living
connecting with
through our
people.
yeah,
Yeah, but virtually
definitely,
connecting with
definitely.
people around the world. I remember the clan like V2. What was yours? V2 something. V2.
Rascal. VT
The V2
Rascal, I think that
Rascal.
was.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
V2 V2
yeah.
Verde. I was just jumping in.
Mm,
I was like, yeah, V2. We all just banging out Call of
yeah.
Duty. I was terrible at Call of Duty. To be fair, that was at Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I believe it
Two.
was.
Mm.
That was the only Call of Duty I've ever had. And to be I speaking to other people and they like, yeah, that was the best one. Yeah,
That was
that
100%
was
the
the
best
one.
one. Yeah, I think I played a few. I played Modern Warfare 4, Modern Warfare 2, and then Black Ops that came after it. And I didn't really bother with it after. It kind of just died out, and I was just on FIFA. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is definitely the best one out of those.
100%. 100%. And that was it. And then once you know what it is, there was a time where like I didn't need to be good and I could compete. But then when
It
man
got
are
silly.
taking it, it
Man,
got
yeah,
mad
yeah.
stupid.
It
And
got
like
mad
even
silly. People running around with snipers, and you have no
nah,
chance with a machine gun, and they quick snap. Nah, honestly, it's painful.
that's
You're
and
there
you know
getting
what?
vexed and raged.
Oh my God. You know what? And you know what? And I think I can't lie, I think that's a problem with gaming kind of going forward. So I talked to my brother-in-law, right? He's really young. He's what, 12, 13 years old. And like obviously his games are like Fortnite and stuff like that. But I can tell you now, I never got stressed playing like Call of Duty, Grand
Mm.
Theft Auto, or FIFA. Like FIFA can frustrate you at times,
I can't lie,
but the way some of
yeah, I got stressed over FIFA, 100%.
yeah, like it got stressful, and
Mm.
I think FIFA are also guilty of this as well, where they made the game so competitive. If you lost, it was like detrimental to you. Like so,
Is that not what
you
we
can't.
want
It's
though?
like
We wanted it to be competitive.
you want it to
Like
be
lose, like
competitive,
that's
but
part of that was
you're
part
playing
of
out
it.
of pleasure though. You're playing out of pleasure. It's like it's like when we play. It's like if I compare it to like football, for example. When you're playing football, it's because you love playing football with your friends and stuff. As soon as you take it
Mm.
into the competitive world now, it's like politics and everything's on the line, and it feels different because it's not about you trying to score the best goal in the game or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like everything is on the
Just like
line.
winning.
Money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like winning
Yeah, money
money,
was on the
managers
line,
onto
especially for like
you.
Ultimate Team. Yeah, with Ultimate Team, and you're in the final of a
Yeah,
cup, and if you win that cup, you get 25k coins. Yeah,
exactly.
that could get you nanny back in the day with
Exactly.
five-star skill moves. Like, yeah, it's
Trust
mad.
me.
It's mad.
Trust me. And then look, even with that, like Ultimate Team, I felt like it started off with very good competition. I know we're meant to be talking about social media, but we're slightly gone into gaming a little bit here.
Mm.
But like with Ultimate Team on FIFA, it used to be very competitive, like, but it was like good competition. So you had to work hard to get your good cards. You knew that if
Mm.
someone had good cards, it's because they've worked to get that.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Now you can throw money at it and you get your best cards.
yeah, which
And
is
now,
mad.
like,
Yeah,
now
it
you got
loses
like
value.
100%, 100%. You go to watch these tournaments everyone's got inform Messi, inform Ronaldo, inform Mbappe. Then they got in
Mm.
like then they make the kids amazing as well. So you got inform Bukayo Saka, inform Mason Greenwood, inform
Yeah.
Phil Foden, and they're all like 99. It's like everyone's just 99. So then what? Like
Mm.
it takes the fun out of the game. I remember back in the
It
day, we used
does.
to have
It
like
does.
Fabini, like there's
Fabinho,
like
Hulk, Jamal Hulk.
yeah, Hulk and all these players that you had to like grind with. You had to
Mm.
grind. Do you know what I mean? And then if you wanted a classic player, oh my God, you had to bang out the game to get classic
Yeah, it's
Zidane,
like
classic Pele and stuff. Like you had to do
the
madnesses.
graph is real, man. I remember having to go from bronze to silver. Then you buy one gold. Then you buy two. Then you sell
Yep,
your gold and be like, right, I'm
yep.
sticking with my silvers, but I'm gonna buy Lloyd Remy, put him up top, and hope he doesn't madness for me.
This is what I mean.
Mad man, loved
This
it
and
though.
this is my experience. This is technically social media because I used to be on there and I used to engage with other people on there as well, play against some of the same people as well. And I used to be able to get onto the leaderboards and stuff. Now, impossible. And if I lose,
Mm.
I'm like, I want to break the TV. And like I feel like that's the issue because now it feels like everything's so on the line. It's
Mhm.
like the small margins, and then when something wrong goes with the game, like lose connection, bro, you're gonna, all right,
Mm.
I'm fuming now. Do you know what I mean? Because
Mm.
everything's on the line. But then, like, kids don't remember. It's like kids don't would never know what it's like to just play like Sonic the Hedgehog. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That it's like
There's no
passing
real
the
competition
time
but yourself. Yeah.
exactly. And it's like completing the levels. Even with Grand Theft Auto back in the day, it was just about completing the levels, and you just had to have mad skill, and that's it. But the
Mm.
competition side of it isn't there. Because what if I just wanted to
Mm.
like, if I just want to pick up the game and play because I want to have fun, like how you would in an arcade, I should be my average skill level should be enough for me to be able to compete. But now if I just want to pick up FIFA, play online, it's like it's like a competition. I got to get to divisions. What if I'm like really good, like let's say like I guess I'm all right at FIFA or whatever, and I go online, and suddenly they throw me into Division One because I won my first game 6-0 or something, and then
Hmm.
I'm just gonna lose every game in Division One. I don't want to play anymore. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because it's so competitive. But I've just come because I had a stressful day at work and I just want to play. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
Mm.
it takes that away. And I guess, people might argue and say, look, go play, career mode or something like that. But I feel like that's the issue with gaming at the moment is that these kids are playing these games and they're in like such highly competitive, you know, games. And it
Hmm.
doesn't need to be that. Sometimes you can just play like a story mode game like Enchanted and it's fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
it's not about winning and it's just going through a story. Some of these games are like movies. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
100%. Enchanted back in the day, there was definitely it was near enough a movie, it was like Tomb Raider. But
trust me.
yeah,
And
it's definitely something that needs to be addressed.
games like Last of Us. If like I know Jam, I don't know if you played this game, Last of Us. If you play this game, it might take you
No,
back
I don't
into
think so.
play Last of Us. It's a movie. I even play it with the missus. That's how good.
Mm.
Like that's a good game. That's a really good game. It's a movie. I'm like playing the game. I'm scared. Like, this is mad. It's a good game. It's like watching a movie. Do you know what I mean? Like so yeah. Check out Last of Us. Just watch the trailer. You feel like you just watched the movie. For
Mm.
that game.
I know, I
But
checked
yeah,
that
man,
out. I checked that out.
trust me. Back to social media. So where were we? We had Bebo. We had Facebook. Um, and then like so Bebo was probably between I think it launched in like 2003 and then 2015 I think they filed for bankruptcy. I heard they tried to come back again. Obviously the guy who just asked the question, oh, he kind of interacted with us. He mentioned that they're now a dating app. Um, but yeah, they had their time and it was good while it lasted. Facebook came in, blew them out the water. Especially I think it was just more mature, and the way it was
Mm.
trending, it was like, yeah, you kind of wanted to be a part of it. And then obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
no parents were on this as well. Like no parents were on
This
these.
is
Yeah,
when it was cool. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was
parents
cool.
weren't. They had no idea what was going on Facebook, who
No,
anyone was speaking
100%.
to. and it felt like an
Yeah,
unsupervised place where there was no
yeah,
adults almost. It was just a bunch of
exactly.
kids messing
Yeah.
around.
Bunch of kids messing around. You want to put up a status. People putting up statuses. I remember like this was like the birth of like attention seeking statuses, man. Like
Mm.
people used to be like, ah, I don't think I could ever be loved. And it's like you're just trying to get a
Yeah,
girl's
yeah,
attention to, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what do you mean? You know, like you can you're
yeah.
a cool guy. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that. And
Mm.
like I shouldn't play on it because it does affect people's mental health for sure. But
Mm.
people used to mac on Facebook, man. And um
Definitely.
I definitely used to put a lot of statuses up there. I used to like get like certain quotes and stuff like that, and yeah. And then
From songs as well. You see Drake, this might be, it's not as early, it's probably like 2011, 2012, but this is when
yeah.
Drake was coming into his own and his quotes were everywhere. If he wasn't writing a
Oh,
Drake quote, you wasn't in it. You weren't in the loop.
bruv, it was Drake, and I remember Wiz Khalifa like there was no tomorrow. Wiz
Wiz
Khalifa
Khalifa,
quotes.
boy. Wiz Khalifa's all over the
It was
place.
like cushion wisdom. It was like what?
Cushion with fam. You see, you see those pictures. I don't know what they were like
Yeah.
Tumblr pictures. We need to talk about Tumblr as well.
Oh
But those
yeah, we
Tumblr
do.
pictures, yeah, went viral. They were everywhere. They crossed every single
Everywhere.
platform. And even when onto
Everywhere.
Instagram, when
Yeah,
Instagram first
man.
started, it was those Tumblr pictures that kind of got everything off the ground. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was
it's
that.
true.
Then went to my BlackBerry. We need to talk about BBM as well. Went to my BlackBerry. They were all over BlackBerry, and they were my BlackBerry display picture. And that would be everyone's bio as well was Christian wisdom quotes. Crazy days.
Trust
Crazy
me.
days.
And imagine this is like these this is a time before like influencers. Influencer wasn't a thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It would have been super interesting what influencer might have been like um on Bebo or Facebook during that time. Do you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, like I loved Facebook for what it was, the statuses, BBM. Oh my God. So if you don't know what BBM, that's BlackBerry Messenger. I remember I had a smartphone, right? I was quite, I don't know if the word is quite quirky. I don't know if that's the word, but I used to try and be a bit different when it came to phones when I was younger. So let's say everyone had like Samsung like flip phones and razors and stuff like that. I would get the PDA, right? So that's like a phone that had like the Windows operating system.
I
So
remember
it
you
had
having a
like a
mad one with a stylus. Did you have the one
yeah,
with a
so it had a
stylus?
yes,
Mm.
exactly, yeah. So I used to have a stylist, and that'd be me because I could send emails. I had PowerPoint. I don't know who the hell I thought I was. Obviously, I thought I was a
Mm.
billionaire or something, but that was me, innit? And that was just how I kind of connected. I kind of forgot my point now. That's mad. But I had that phone. It was very different. Oh yeah, BBM in it. So I didn't have a BlackBerry phone, and then BlackBerry phones kind of jumped in. So these times here, I'm now going into uni. I'm like 18, 19, 20. At the time, I started my first ever venture um, as an entrepreneur. I started doing under 18 events. So I was like, just turned 19. Most of my friends couldn't come out, or 18, I think. Most of my friends couldn't come out. So we tried to do, under 18 raves. Um, so you can look them up. I was a part of a group called Raveway. I was more supporting active that one, but then the one I actually started was um, a group called College Corner. We used to have artists like Cash Tastic, uh, Rossi Rico. Even you know what? It was Zaha's birthday the other day, and one of his boys posted a picture of him at one of our events. So big shout out to
Mad.
Zaha as well. So Zaha used
Mm.
to come to our events. These times Zaha was like maybe like 14, 15. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And he was coming to our events. No one knew, what he was gonna become. But anyway, that's what I used to do. But in order to be good at what I was doing at the time, I needed to have BlackBerry Messenger. So I purposely went out and bought a second phone, got a old BlackBerry phone, just so I have BlackBerry Messenger.
Yeah,
again,
trust me, you needed a BB. If you didn't have a BBM, who were you? You were not in the loop. You
you
needed a
were not
BBM
in
to
the
be in a
loop.
loop. You would not contacted none
Statuses,
of your friends. Yeah.
trust me, trust me. You needed,
Broadcast as well. It's mad. It was mad actually thinking about the broadcast because there used to be like negative stuff like tag a girl who's loose or something like that, and their BBM pin
yeah,
and stuff like that would go
yeah,
flying around, man.
yeah.
Like again, it's that side. We were seeing the negative sides of social media early doors, but
Trust me.
it wasn't addressed. Like stuff like that wasn't being
Mm,
addressed. It was just part of it, and we almost accepted that.
yeah, you're right. And man, I did love BBM, man, and I thought like that
Mm,
again. That had like a solid 2 years,
mm.
and then iPhones came through, and it was like, then iMessage kind of took over, and everyone had to have a
Everyone jumped on the iPod Touch.
yeah. Everyone
And it
needed
kind
the
of, I feel like that's
iPod
when
Touch.
the transition
Mm.
kind of went from BlackBerry.
Yeah, it kind of lost out. But yeah, man, I wouldn't have been able to sell any tickets to any of the raves that I was a part of if I didn't have BBM. I needed broadcast. I needed groups there, like different groups that had promoters, and I needed like potential contacts, like for leads of like basically different girls who I could try and sell the tickets to and make them into like promoters so they can get guys just so we could sell out the show. Do you know what I mean? It'd be just so sick,
Hmm.
man. Big time. We were competing with a group called Bigger Fish. Bigger Fish used to be able to get bigger artists um than us. But we had people that was coming up on the rise, whether it's like Cash Tastic, on there. Youngin came through as well. So we had quite a few at the time, man, and it was a nice little era. But that when I think of BlackBerry, that's the era I think of. Do you know what I mean? So big shout
Hmm.
out to BlackBerry, man. They were. It's like modern day, basically WhatsApp now, isn't it? And they could have
Yeah,
evolved, and they
100%.
should have evolved. They should have been able to make calls, and they should be able
They
to.
tried though, because remember there was an app on Apple. I don't know if it was on Android as well, where they noticed that people were going from BlackBerry to Apple, and they tried to keep Baby M as like a separate thing, and they turned it into an
Mm,
app that was downloadable on Apple. And I think people started downloading it, but it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the
didn't
same,
yeah.
especially with the rise of at the time it would have been like Facebook, Twitter. I think started to come into play. There was just other ways to communicate. So yeah, BlackBerry
Yeah,
just
and
lost its touch.
again, I think other things started to feel more mature. So,
Mm,
like when it came to BlackBerry, I feel like the biggest thing with BlackBerry wasn't even the app; it was the like rollerball thing. That like that's what it was.
mm,
The rollerball thing that you could use to go from left, right, or whatever. That's what made the messenger. It wasn't even the messenger itself. So it was like you just wanted that. And then when everyone's jumping onto iPhone and stuff, and then you don't even need an iPhone, you can have an iPod Touch and whatever. You do that, listen to music, everything like that. Like you
Well,
had the iCloud and stuff like that. It's just
mm.
iTunes. Why not,
I was
innit?
just gonna say about BlackBerry. The one before like MSN Bebo days, no one really took screenshots. Screenshots weren't a thing. And then
Yeah,
as BlackBerry came into play, do you remember the screen munch?
yeah. Ski munching.
The purple screen munch, actually, yeah. And people would get caught out left, right, and center with that from then.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's when
Oh
people
my
started to
god.
become more aware with what they were saying and who they were saying it to. But before,
Yeah.
it was open play. Anyone would say anything without thinking it
Mm,
could go to someone or be seen by someone else. And then the screen munch came into play, and boy, everyone started to think about what they were saying when they were talking to
trust
girls.
me.
They'd be like, right, I'm not gonna say this
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she
yeah.
could screenshot it
Just in
and send
case.
it to the next one or next, yeah, just in case. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's mad. I remember them days still.
Mm,
Yo, the screen bunch. But big shout out again, another I guess social media tool or platform. Yeah, big shout out to BlackBerry, man. And they didn't last the test of time. And
mm,
then I think during that time as well, I think that we saw the birth of Instagram.
mm,
Um I just remember Instagram, I heard about it, and then I just jumped on it kind of early. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on this, but I didn't use it for myself. So I jumped on it and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna post pictures that I like. Um, at the time, I tried to start editing pictures because I had jumped on Tumblr around the same time, and Tumblr was very like if you're a fashion guy, you're like arty,
Yeah,
take certain pictures. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I
it's
used
such
to
a
just take
creative
pictures.
space. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick. It was nice. And then it was like, people used to share deep things on there as well. So like there's certain accounts that's like very spiritual, very so that certain images is just kind of connected, there'd be crystals and things like that. And I really liked it. And then what I used to do was take pictures from I literally used to screenshot pictures from Tumblr and just post them onto Instagram. And that's how I just got started with. That was like my kind of like start into social media as a marketer, a social media
hmm
marketing. So yeah, I used
Without
to take
knowing it, because at
pictures.
the time you probably didn't know what you didn't really know that that was what you were doing. You just
Oh, no
thought,
chance.
let me just share these pictures. It was cool and people will like
Mm,
it. But what you
yeah,
were doing was
man.
cross-platform promotion. You figured what was working on one platform and carry that same strategy to something else, which is almost
Yeah,
what we do now
it's
for a
arbitrage,
living.
isn't it? Yeah,
Mm,
it's arbitrage. You take one thing from another place, and then that might have been popping in one place, or it might not be popping, and you try and take it to another place and see if it pops there. And Instagram
hmm
for me, it worked and it popped, and that was when I first came up with the name hashtag living. I came up with the name hashtag living, and I just used that hashtag, created that in Instagram hashtag. I might have had a few different names before then, but it fell to hashtag living, and then I was just posting lifestyle pictures that were up on Tumblr, and then I just started growing
Which
from
is
there.
mad. It was mad to see the growth of your page back then. Because I remember the Explore page back then. If you're on the Explore
Yeah,
page, you're winning.
yeah,
It wasn't like it is now.
yeah,
There was no like algorithm. It was full content that is has gone viral almost. And your pictures always used to be
mm,
on there. It was like, fam,
yeah,
Jules. I was used to be like, Isaac, fam, Jules' pictures on the Explore page. It was like it was something to
yeah,
rave
bro.
about almost.
Yeah, because you know what is mad, yeah, because I used to always just it made it addictive because I instantly knew. I used to count literally. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna post this picture, and then I expect 10 likes every minute, and then
hmm
it'll be like 2 minutes, 100 likes. I was like, rah. Do you know what I mean? And like everything was good then because everything was in chronological order, so you knew everybody was gonna see
Yeah,
your stuff. Do you know what I mean? So you knew basically all your followers are gonna see your stuff. Where now it's like, we'll
the
show it to a
algorithm. Yeah,
portion. We'll
mm.
see. Do you know what I mean? It's
That's when
very
organic
different.
reach was the thing. This was before ads, before brands were jumping on Instagram. It was literally just for consumers, I guess. Just like
Yeah,
the public to kind of engage with their friends.
100%. And yeah, it was good. I loved it. Again, the pictures, some of them weren't mine, but um, yeah, it was just good just taking stuff from Tumblr and then throwing it onto Instagram. And yeah, man, those times, I wish I could get them back. And there needs to be other apps out there that can try and, kind of redo that, I think.
Mm,
Um, I think people will appreciate it. The only thing is that, for these apps to survive sometimes or to make more money, they need ads. But if there was a way for there to be an organic reach, um, and incorporate ads, I think that would be good because
mm.
what they do now is like it's almost like a lottery, isn't it? So it's like some people want every single one of their pictures to bang, and it never does. It's like it's impossible. So you almost have to psychologically think that none of your pictures will bang, and you just need that content to be out there because if you start focusing too much on the numbers, there's too many variables. Do you know what I
hmm
mean? Like everybody
You
wants
don't, yeah, you
every.
don't control. It's almost you don't control your fate because
Yeah,
you,
you
you you
don't.
don't control where your post is going or the reach it will get. If you can get people
Trust
to
me.
engage, great. It's gonna help your organic reach. But again, that's not in control. You can just keep trying. It's about compounding, really. Just keep trying to do the right things, post on the right type of content, variation, and it's
Yeah,
the
just
hope that you'll get somewhere with that. But yeah, like you said, yeah, it's not in our hands. But back
just be
then,
consistent.
we had all the power. Yeah.
Yeah, back then you had all the power, man. And at the time, I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna start like 4 or 5 pages. Started 4 or 5 pages, grew them all, and then started selling shout outs, started selling.
Mm.
People just wanted to pay me to be on my page so they could grow their page. Do you know what I mean?
And
It's
these are
mad
when you can
because
get good handles as well without getting X's
yeah,
and O's and numbers after it. You can just get a clean handle. And
yeah,
if you was
no
to go back then, you
underscores.
just think whoever cleaned up and got all the brand's handles back then, like,
Yeah,
well done. Because you think
yeah,
there's got to be a marketer out there that would have seen it with domains and people doing that and would have thought, okay,
mm,
brands will do this with social media as well. But
But
yeah,
the thing
whoever's
is,
done that, it'd be
you would
interesting to
never,
know.
you would never have thought it was gonna be this big though. Do you know what I mean? Like you would
Nah, no,
never have
not at all.
thought like, yeah, Drake's gonna be on here, and then Drake's gonna be as big as he is now. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
At Drake,
And
at Champagne Pappy,
active, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
active as well, like having an insight
yeah,
into these people's lives that you didn't think that was
yeah.
attainable. You didn't like back then. I didn't know
True.
what Chris Brown was doing like on a Saturday
Yeah,
night. But
trust
then
me,
you had
it's
a few
true.
years later, you had that insight into his life, which was mad.
No, it's true. It's true. And you know, like I even at the time I started a page that was dedicated to Arsenal, right? And then these times there, like older footballers weren't really on the page on Instagram, but the younger players were. So at the time, I'm talking players such as Hector Bellerin, Sanchez
Sanchez,
Watt,
what? Mm,
these man, they were active on there. So what I would do is I'll post a picture from like one of their academy games that I got off the Arsenal website, and then post it, tag them, they like it, boom, 13,000 likes on the page. Do you know what I mean? And like
yeah, it was
it was
back
that
then as
kind
well.
of
You had the what was it? The like count? The no, there was like a feed of what you could see what people liked,
yeah, the activity
and
feed.
if
So you
yeah,
could
the activity feed
see
almost.
yeah, so you could see other people's activity. So you could see,
Mm,
oh, 11 people are liking this. And then
mm,
you would go to that picture and, oh, yeah, I like that too. Or 11, like five people that you follow just followed so and so. And that's how you could find
yeah.
new people and things like that. But again, that just made people mad nosy. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Oh, you see so and so, just follow so and so. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I thought she was talking bad about him last week.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they
yeah.
did kind of get they did get rid of that. But again, I'm just happy I got to experience that because yeah, that time on Instagram was the golden ages, man. What it is now is
100%.
so obviously what it is now is massive, and what it's going to be in the future could be really big with their focus on e-commerce, with their focus on video,
Video as well. Yeah.
them trying with them trying to compete with TikTok as well, or TikTok trying to compete with them. Yeah, like I'm just happy I got to see it in the early ages. I don't want to be old and be like, oh, it was better then, it's worse now. Do you know what I mean? We got to adapt with the
Mm.
times. Do you know
Move
what I
with the
mean?
times, definitely.
Trust me, and the amount of brands on there and the consistency that you can bring to it, you can still grow. But you
Hmm.
you just need to know that there is an agenda with all of these social media apps now, more so than there was before. So
Hmm.
before it was all about connecting with other people, where now it's more like let's try and keep you on the app for as long as possible. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, you can
And it's
easily
turned
waste a
into a
lot of
revenue
time.
driver as well. Yeah. It's just how can they make money from brands?
Trust me. Trust me.
And
So
yeah,
that is
it's
yeah.
become
So
yeah,
that was
it's
that, man.
become a real thing. It's become a real thing.
Mm,
But no, it's still an exciting place to be, and it's crazy to see
yeah.
the evolution of even just Instagram over the last 10 years. Like back when I was on
Yes.
it in 2011, like it's crazy that it's got to this place, and people that made you think have can make a living off just reposting content
Yeah.
from things he likes, and
It's the birth of
that's how he makes bread. Just
yeah, it's true. And just it's just a birth of influences, man. Like
mm,
that's one of the things that birthed it. Them and even YouTube. Like I haven't even touched on YouTube. Like YouTube kind of coming through. I think it was like 2006 I started jumping onto YouTube because before it was this thing called Meta Cafe. That used to be the video platform that you could just watch like funny videos, and then YouTube kind of came in. But I think where YouTube changed the game, it was the YouTube Partner Program. Once you could start making money through the ads, and you're getting your rev share of it, like
mm.
game changer.
And they
What are
done
people
this
gonna
early
do?
doors, yeah, early
Early
doors.
doors,
I remember watching
and
KSI
oh my
change
god,
his
yeah,
life by just watching him play FIFA videos, and this was before esports was a thing. Like
yeah,
he's almost the originator of like esports and that whole video gaming um like transport the transition from video gaming being like quite a private thing to it being open to like the public and people watching them play. Like
Mm,
you gotta give credit and their flowers to those guys because
mm.
they were doing it when it wasn't cool. Like it wasn't cool to video yourself playing video games. But
No, it
yeah,
wasn't.
he made it into a thing and shout out to him, man.
It made, you know what? It made the nerds cool. You know, for lack of a better
100%,
word,
100%.
it made the nerds cool, man. And that's what I love about YouTube because you could have such a niche like Lego. I love Lego,
Mm,
and like you can literally create a video on you like building Lego because that's what you like to do in your pastime, and you're getting an audience because other people like doing it, and then also people like to watch it because they might not be able to have access to Lego, so they'll literally watch you do it. Like the other
mm.
day, imagine this. They had Marble Olympics. I couldn't believe my eyes. I got jammed. I tell you, type this in, you'll be blown away. This guy,
Marvel Olympics.
this guy's got thousands of marbles. He has marble stadiums that are like over a track, and they make. He
Mm,
has marble relay races. Like,
what the
like
hell?
I'm blown away by it just because of the sheer creativity, and it's
Mm.
run like you're watching live Olympics. Commentary, track times, the charts of the world
That's
records and
nuts.
stuff like that. But you know what?
Mm,
This could have just started as like he obviously might be doing a degree in broadcasting or something, and he just thought I need something to show that I can do this, and he did it with marbles. But now it blows
mhm,
up 2 million views, 5 million views, or whatever it is. But the quality of his content is really good. It's bare random, but it gives you that opportunity. There's people who like marbles, and like it still connects
mm,
to their inner kid, and like now you can earn from that as opposed to like that person might be like, I don't want to do nothing else but play marbles, and it's
mm.
like it's giving them the opportunity to earn some money, and that person could have ended up like, let's say it was 30 years ago, that person will be like McDonald's or something. He's doing a
Yeah,
dead end job
100%,
or something. Do you know
100%.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
It
like,
made people look at owning their own content. Like it made people look at ownership different. Like before, if that was an option for someone, they'd have to go
mm,
to a media company, TV channel to get that live or to get some kind of traction. But now you
mm.
can actually start your own account and do whatever. Like I said, you can have your own niche. Like from like Blippy.
Oh, bro,
Imagine Blippy
big
when
up
he
Blippi.
first started. He would have, yeah, he would have
Yeah,
got rinsed by family
yeah,
members, friends. Like, what? Why are you doing that? And to see him now is on my house every day. Blippy is
yeah.
on the TV without fail every day, and
It's like
the
my
guy does numbers.
he
He does
does serious
numbers.
numbers. The fact that he got like basketball players want to be on the show for their kids as
Hmm.
well. Like, yo, it's mad. So yeah, big up Blippi. But YouTube, game changer. I feel like having a Kanye moment. Where's your
Mm.
partner program, Instagram? Pay me my fair share.
Mm.
Do you know when TikTok pays me? I have 10,000 followers on TikTok and I earn a bit of money on there. Yeah. But on
Mm.
Instagram, why am I posting on Instagram? For what? Likes? Pay
Mm.
me. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, let's
Yeah,
get me
100%.
my give me my money. Do you know what I mean? I know to be fair, like in terms of social media updates, a quick one is that Instagram are working on you getting paid for your reels. But again, I guess there's so many legalities in different countries and states and whatever. They're slowly rolling it out. I think at the moment it's in Australia or whatever. Might be in a bit and in the US as well. But I need that stuff here in England. I want to be earning some more money from my content. People are watching it. You're making money from it. You're just using me. Technically,
Hmm.
I'm almost just a social media slave here. Do you know what I mean?
Almost, man. Almost.
Almost. Do you know what I mean? Now, obviously, stereo don't ban me, but yeah, like I need to be starting to earn money from this. Even
The
stereo
power's in a
allows you
creator,
to earn
man. Yeah,
money.
the power is now with the creators. Before it was with these big companies, but now we almost keep people on the app, and they're starting to
Yeah,
see the value of that.
yeah.
And you're seeing the
You know
likes
what?
of Joe Rogan transition from like Spotify, from
Mm,
YouTube to Spotify because they see the value in the creator and
yeah,
how much bringing him over to the platform can do for Spotify. It's that transition, man. It's good to see that the people now have the power. But before
mm,
we were kind of like you said, slaves to these big corporations.
yeah. Trust me. And you know what we need to do as well, Jam. So I think we need to give them a prediction for 2022. So a quick infographic that people can download, almost like an ebook or something where we just share our prediction for 2022. Like I 100% think it's the year of the content creator. Um,
Mm,
all these platforms need to be starting paying with the likes of NFTs coming into effect, cryptocurrencies. TikTok are paying people. Do you know what I mean? TikTok are actually paying people. My business partner just posts videos from TV shows, and he makes like £30 a day just
mad
by
man. Mm,
posting, funny clips from the TV shows that he loves, and it's from his page because they're getting engagements. I
mm,
saw, right. I'm sorry, I'm really getting into Lego at the moment. So I saw a TikTok live of someone building a Bugatti on TikTok live. People are sending him mad money from all these badges and stuff, like 10 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, $1, $10. Like it was like, whoa. And he's just building the thing. Like he's making money. That's why he's on there. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
And like one day, I'm gonna say one day it will happen. We're gonna go live on a platform and people are gonna be sharing, you know, supporting the show by sending money. You see this with Arsenal Fan TV. They do their lives all the time. People support the
Yeah,
show.
they've
They want to
mastered
see
it.
it.
The blue what their
They
their
got
come up has been it's been impressive, man. And for a guy like Robbie of his age to be the kind of guy the guy running things, it's madness
mm,
because you wouldn't expect a guy of I don't know how old he was at the start, but he's definitely I want to say early 40s, maybe
yeah.
late 30s.
Well,
You don't expect a guy like that to launch a fan channel and think to publish it on YouTube.
it's never too
And
late,
again,
man. It's never too
yeah,
late.
it's never too late. It's never too late. And again, he's making serious bread from that. And almost Sky, like the likes of Sky and BT have kind of followed his journey and kind of imitated it in terms of bringing fans into play. I know they do the fan debate now on Sky with Carragher and Gary Neville, and that's all stemmed from what Robbie's done with Arsenal Fan TV and giving again the
100%,
people the
man.
voice because the power is now with the people and the creators. So Robbie again, flowers to him because
Yeah, big
the
shout out
the
to
numbers
Robbie.
he used to do and still does is crazy, crazy.
Mm. A big shout out to Robbie. He changed the game when it comes to that fan, I guess, YouTube content. And another thing as well, he's creating jobs for people who
Hmm.
that just doing what they love. Talking about Arsenal, do you know how many jobs have you had in the past and people talk about the same thing every single day? Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Do you know what I mean? They
Yeah,
talk to you about you fancy football or whatever, and now you can do that and get paid from it, bro.
yeah.
And what another thing, another Kanye moment. I'm sorry, Sky Sports, man. Like I see you trying to copy all this, like um the same template that these guys have, but they struggle to put certain people into people that deserve it into those positions. We see the guys like Chunks, Young Philly, Harry Pinero, HP like the Source, big him up. They get to go on Sky Sports, but they're blackballing Troops just because of the
Hmm.
way he talks. Do you know what I mean? They need to stop with that. He Troops
Yeah,
is
but then you
massive.
see chunks. Yeah, you see chunks and HP on these shows, and they're not themselves. Like I feel like they've
Yeah,
changed their persona for Sky Sports, whereas they should just let them be themselves. You don't hire them, you don't hire chunks, these personalities, and don't allow their personality to shine on the show. Like, it doesn't make sense.
you know
So
what it
yeah,
is.
that's definitely an issue from these guys.
But you know what it is. It's because they're only on that show for the bread. And
Hmm.
then because they're on their show for the money, then it's like they lose the creative control. That's why we need to that is why you need to have it on your own platforms. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? You're gonna get way
Poet
bigger
mentioned
reach and
this.
stuff.
Yeah.
Poet,
Shout out to
poet
Poet
visionary,
again. Yeah. Again, because I remember
visionary.
what was it? What was it? Poet's Corner back in the day on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, back in the day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Almost like a journalist for grime music and the
Mm.
culture. I don't know how often he used to do his videos. It might be a monthly thing or a weekly thing. Or A Online as well. You got to shout out A Online. These
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
followed with me through my youth. But yeah, Poet's Corner
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Visionary
man.
and
Big,
what
big
he's
up,
doing,
big up
he's
these
still
people, man.
doing. still doing for the culture, and the likes of Chucky Online have come through, Craig Mitch, Filthy Fellas, everyone on there, Specs. They've all Vuj, like they've all come from Poet's influence, and
Trust
it's
me.
it's
And you
good
know
to
what?
see.
Like I said, year of the content creator next year, we will speak to these people on this platform. We will break it
Mm,
down. We will start having live um live episodes with visuals. Do you know what I mean? We're just starting. This is only the first chapter. This is just the introduction for us.
this
You know
is
what I mean?
chapter
We
one, yeah,
will
man. It's early doors.
this is very early doors, and we will get to these places and we will start talking to more and more people. We saw that last week. We interviewed Vanessa, my sister. She, and we saw that got the most downloads of any podcast that we've done, um, in the first day. So people do want to hear us talking to other people and having different perspectives and stuff like that. And we're gonna give that to the people that are listening. And we want to talk with Chucky. We want to talk with Poet. We want to talk with those people, and we want to connect it back to social media as well, and share our expertise. And even this episode as well, like we're talking about social media, but it also feels like just a throwback episode of just everything because there's so
100%,
many
man. So
things.
nostalgic.
It's so nostalgic, and so many things have been birthed through social media, like and we've seen so many different social media platforms as kind of come and go. We haven't even touched on Vine was massive.
Hmm.
Vine, let's take it like Instagram, that was just video, that was just pictures. Vine came through, did videos. People, I ain't never seen people edit videos so quick and so short. It was 6 seconds. You had 6 seconds, and I
Hmm.
felt like I was watching movies.
Yeah,
They had
trust me,
six
the six,
seconds,
yeah, madness. It
six
felt like
second
a
videos.
lifetime watching a
Oh,
good 6 second video.
it was amazing. The skills to grab someone's attention in 6 seconds, absolutely amazing. A big shout out to Vine. And obviously, once Instagram came in with their video, it killed Vine because everything was on the same platform. And we've
Mhm.
seen this as a running trend with the likes of Facebook, Instagram. They see what else is popping and then they go and grab that. It's a great technique to kind of get more market share. Apple do it when they see other companies doing something that they would like, they would maybe contract them, then buy them, and then ruin them. Like not ruin them, but it's like that company won't exist anymore. It's just Apple.
Mhm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like whether it's the technology with the watches, the mouse, whatever it might be. And I think that's a good technique. And Instagram, Facebook's basically doing the same thing. So big shout out to them. There's loads that have come and go. Like musically, I don't know if was musically TikTok. I can't
TikTok.
remember.
Yeah, it was.
Uh,
Yeah, and they had a rebrand and went again in Asia.
mm,
And now they're conquering the world.
yeah, conquering the world, man. It's like, and that partner program as well. It's sick, man. Just like, I'm thinking of like coming up with a new business model around it. Like, there's so many people who want to be in like influencers and stuff. I know how to grow a page. I was to sell my page to different people who want 10,000 followers because we just know how to do it because TikTok allows you to grow in an organic way. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? I think I do feel like TikTok is a bit like slot machines. It's like, you know, they catch you. They want you to post very frequently. I feel like you can't really get away with like one post a week or one post, even
Nah,
a post a
yeah.
day. You need to be posting very frequently, and you might get one video that gets 10,000 views, and the next one is like five, and then
Mm.
six, and then 11,000, and then five, and then 500,000. But it's like it feels like the lottery because it's like you have to keep putting coins in to get what you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
try and
yeah.
get that dope,
And
that
that
dope,
one
that
coin
dope.
might be the one that gets you the views, gets you
Exactly.
that currency back.
It's that dopamine hit, and they do it by making things viral. So you're focusing on the viral trends to get you viral. So you just keep on putting more coins into the machine. Um, and I think that's another way of looking at it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying this is good because I don't think it is, but obviously this is the world that we live in. But we have to be aware that this is manufactured to keep people onto the platform. And you know that you can grow brand, like it's a good option for brands, small businesses. You still need to be on there, but you also need to be aware of what it's made to do. Like I think we should even like encourage like social media cleansing, just having breaks,
Mm,
every now and again, because these apps are made for you to stay on them for as long as possible. So we're not trying to make people be addicted and stuff like that. There are lives outside of social media,
yeah.
um, and I just know TikTok have just mastered it. Especially you started to get coins now. You're getting money now. Sorry, you're getting money. You're
Mm,
like, oh, £2, £3. You're like, okay, cool. So I'm winning now. I'm winning a little bit. Winning more coins in, more coins in, more coins in, so I can get viral moments. But then the content that you're posting, is it actually got any substance, any value, or are you just doing what
hmm
you doing with everybody else? So I like to look at myself as an artist, uh, because like I want to put out something of value. I don't like putting out things that are just what everybody else is just doing. Like,
hmm
oh yeah, it might make me grow, but you're not taking in my art in the way
You need
that,
substance, man. The substance will make you last. The
yeah,
trendiness might make you pop for a hot sec, but you want to last. You see it with influencers coming off of Love Island. They
mm,
don't have the substance to maintain that hype after Love Island finishes. That might have a 6 month period, then it dies off.
yeah,
Whereas someone who's trying to build, even if it's just looking at influencer career, trying to build that influencer career, but they base it off their love for fashion or their love for music
yeah,
or their love for food, and they constantly work on the post and the variation and type of content people want to see. You'll see
mm,
they build an engaged audience quicker
yeah,
and longer than the guys that have just got the growth quickly. So it's
yeah. It's
definitely
true.
worth keeping that in mind.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's you have to look at it like that as a content creator. Obviously, I'm not saying the other way is wrong. You want to do the viral moments and stuff like that, but I don't know. Like you can flip on that. Like you can flip your money and everything like that, and that's great. But if you're an artist, you want your content to be consumed in a valuable way. Do you know what I mean? So like
Hmm
you want something that will last the test of time, something that people can keep going back to, and it's not just a viral moment and that's it, gone, and no one's even gonna ever watch that video ever again. Do you know what I mean? You want people to kind of come back to it, take it in. Do you know what I mean? Like if we look at Kanye West videos, you can go back to them and you're gonna be like, wow, like, and it wasn't just that viral moment at that time because he's got so much gems of value in that content that you can go back to it and you'd be like, wow, do you know what I mean? If you look at like Nipsey Hussle's interviews and things like that, they have a lot of value in there. They're
hmm
not always gonna be viral moments. If you look at even albums, some of like Jay-Z's best albums or whatever, if you look at like something like Reasonable Doubt, that wasn't something that broke Billboard. That was, but it gets deemed a classic over time. And that's what you want as an artist. You don't want it to be consumed really quickly, reviewed really quickly. You have to be able to sit with this and look at it, and you know what I mean. You have to put real like work into it. I find that hard when it comes to like Instagram. Obviously, I've got my personal pages, and I'm trying to like push out certain content and stuff like that. But I don't want it to just be something people look at and throw away and never see again. Do you know what I mean?
hmm
So I'm trying to strike the right balance, but that means it will take a lot longer for me to produce that
It takes
content because
time. Yeah.
you're putting everything into it. Do you know what I mean? As well as trying to keep up with the times, but like I need to be on the frequency of Kanye West. Obviously, I'm on the beginning of this journey, but I need to get to that point of the artistry where I understand what I'm trying to put out, and then I just put it out. And it doesn't
hmm
matter the likes and
Matter
everything like that. Like
numbers.
that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the numbers don't matter. It's the value.
Just putting out what you want to put out and staying true to yourself and your vision and all of that will come afterwards. It's just
Yeah,
don't be
man.
so obsessed by the numbers straight away
Yeah,
and
man.
just stick to yourself, create your own little strategy and yeah, stay true to it.
Stay true to it 100%. And you don't need to feel the pressure of like what everybody else is doing as well, man. Stay in that lane, that your lane, nobody else is in your lane. Only you can do what you do. So stay in your lane. You get me? I feel like
Mhm.
you know what, this has been a long episode, man. I mean, just
Yeah, it
realizing
has,
the
but
time.
it's been a good one, and we didn't even touch on Twitter, but
We did not. You know what? Quickly, just
no,
quickly, all right, just quickly.
mm,
Um, Twitter. I jumped onto Twitter about 2010, and when I jumped onto Twitter again, it was crack cocaine, man. I was addicted. You know how many conversations I
mm,
had? Oh my gosh! And to me, it
hmm
was like another BlackBerry BBM situation. Again, I used to promote so much on there, man. I had like 2,000 followers or something on there, and I could just tweet about anything and everything, and then I automatically get a retweet. Again, I don't know what it's like now. I don't know if people even see tweets or whatever. I tried to set up another one without my previous alias, but you know what? I find it hard to just sit on there because I don't feel like it's that engaging. But when there are good trending topics, I feel like yeah, and I like to just watch and just like and stuff like that. But
that's
I don't
it.
really
That's it. It's when
tweet that
things are
much.
trending,
Mm,
like even like George Floyd last year. That's when I dived onto Twitter just to see what the conversation was about. But
mm.
for me, when I think of Twitter and its history, the moment that popped for me was when the Jay-Z Beyonce and Solange situation on the elevator. And when
Okay.
Solange beat out Jay-Z, that was when Twitter was popping, like the conversation around that and the memes that were flying about. That's what kind of brought me into the whole meme era and what they were and how people would be so quick and so sharp to create them. And yeah, it was funny times, man. Funny
Yeah, man.
times.
Big shout out to Twitter, and they're trying to do their best to evolve and stuff like that. So, is it Jack Dorsey? Big shout out to them. Again, they're also not excused from like the I guess the evolvement of social media with like algorithms and shadow banning and organic growth. You know what I mean? Like they
Mm.
do set it up so the fact that they banned like is it Donald Trump? Was he banned Donald Trump on Twitter?
Yeah,
He
Donald Trump,
tweeted
yeah.
like I'm not really for any of that. Do you know what I mean? Because people have a freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. Um, and once someone starts controlling what other people say or show or whatever, you got the power to oppress, yeah, to oppress people. And I disagree with that a lot. Obviously we know that Donald Trump's saying some nonsense sometimes, and he might influence a lot of people, but who controls that influence? Does any one man just control that influence? We need to have communities. We need to have
hmm
um people being informed. Donald Trump be able to say something and influence a lot of people because he has that community, but we need to have stronger other communities that are just as strong to be able to discredit that, or do you know what I mean? Like we need to say, okay, these guys is that's nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Something that discredits it as opposed to just you can't talk anymore. Because what if I say something and just because it's not liked or whatever, they want to cancel me? Like what? Like I disagree with that a lot in it. So yeah, it's mad that I work within social media, but I still have so many issues with, on
mm.
a political level with what social media does and stands for. Because I feel like the way it started was very innocent and very engaging, but then what it's becoming now is almost like it's too powerful for some of the users on there. That doesn't mean that there isn't great opportunity. There is. It's just that there are there are powers that be. We're giving too much power to certain platforms, and it's kind of jumping into kind of human rights a little bit. And I'm sure
hmm
there's many people
Yeah, I
that
get
could
you. And
vouch.
freedom of speech and
Freedom of speech. There's other things that need to, that you see racism, pedophilia. Like there's so many things out there that is creeping in. Just like how there's issues with the world anyway. We've seen that coming into social media as well because it's a metaverse. Do you know what I mean? So
hmm
the good and the bad comes with it. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like we're seeing that, and I'm gonna highlight that and talk about that for sure. But yeah, man. Twitter, there you go. Tumblr, we spoke about you as well. Um, some of the other dead ones that are Vine. Was there, I don't know, was there anything else that we've missed during that time? If there
I
is,
don't think, yeah, I think we've covered it. I think we covered it,
Yeah, I think we covered most of it, like MySpace. We covered all the big ones anyway, and the ones that kind of influenced us the most as well. So big shout out to all those social media. You definitely changed my life because like I didn't think I could disconnect with someone, from other parts of the world. Our grandparents didn't get exposure to this type of information and connection to other people.
Hmm.
So again, it comes with its pros and its cons and sharing of information and things like that. But I'm grateful to, kind of be alive in this generation where I've got to be exposed to this, and interesting to see where it goes. Obviously, again, we know it's gonna come with its pros and cons, but I'm all for seeing it, seeing where it
Nah,
goes, and
definitely just being a part of it, being part of the journey.
yeah, 100, and just being a part, yeah, being a part of the journey and trying to, you know, mark my stamp within that space at the same time. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, big things coming, and look out, man. Infographic, the Social Living podcast, the infographic of I guess social media predictions for 2022, social media trends. Keep a lookout for that. That will be coming soon. I don't know when. I need to talk to Jam afterwards, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that. And yeah, if you did take part in the show today, thank you very much for listening, engaging. Anybody who asked questions, you might not have gotten through all the questions, but we appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. This is the Social Living Podcast, and we're out. Peace.
Sweet.